Hi everyone. Welcome to class day 21, and I'm so excited to have everybody here. That's fantastic, fantastic. So hope we had a great. I'm seeing flourish for after many times. So hope we had a great time today, and we'll continue our um, class from yesterday where we talked about OOP. But I want to show you guys using the banking system, things more like that's what we are working on our assignment. So I want to use it to explain a little bit to you guys how OOP works so that we can, in turn, use it for maybe your project you're working on, which the due date is tomorrow. And I think I also have, I don't know if I have that enough time to show you some of the stuff I did. I know I told you the other day on the Slack channel that I've gone through it. So I was just trying to, I think yesterday I told you it was in my other system. So I've moved it to this particular system I'm using for the class. So the next thing I'm trying to do, guys, is that I'm trying to check my database clients. I will need it to be able to explain what I want to explain to you guys when it comes to um, when it comes to the banking system. This is not what I want. I don't want to use this. Okay, rather than just creating an rather than creating a new let's go back to my code. Okay, I think I'm here. Rather than creating a new showing look taking to database, there's a way I could connect on my other system is working. I don't know why it's not working on this one. There's a way I can connect to my to a database on my VS Code, and then I can be able to show you guys. I think let's see if I can do. Okay, let me see if I can install this extension. If it will help me do what I want to do, but that's not my major aim for today. So why this extension is installing. Let me also click this. I don't know why my extensions are. So let's see why that extension is installing. Okay. 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 Okay, great. So I'll check it out on my okay. I'll check it out on my when I start that part. So let me just leave it. Great, great. Okay. So let's go back to where we were and let me explain what I was explaining. Good. So I've used 6 minutes of our time. Confirm if you can hear me. Good evening, Gloria. Good evening, Flora. Good evening, Christiana. And good evening, everyone. Okay. So like I said, we're going to check. We're going to look at the concept of OOP again. But I want to. That's why I titled this class classes, inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism. I want to expose you guys to this concept and show you the how we can structure bank hub into this so that those of you already you've done your assignment before you might want to say, okay, let me see if I can practice from this direction. All right. So I think this wrap ups what my kind of way of showing you things in how OOP functions or work. Okay, because sometimes your assessment now going forward, I might tell you, please put it in a class, or we'll continue our modules and everything. But right now, your knowledge in Python has improved. You are now gurus, so Okay, great. So you guys are now gurus, so you know how to structure your code very, very well. So what we have on the screen is that we're looking at a bank, account management system. So this classic explain it explains the following: classes and objects, which we did yesterday. Classes and objects. Um, so we'll have a customer, we have the account, we have the bank. Those are things that defines object. A customer is an object, an account is an object. Okay, why we say customize an object? Because it's an entity, it has a name. All right, it has a name. An account is an object because it has state also. It can either go or go down, withdraw, current balance, and all of that. Bank also is an object because with bank you can um just a minute, let me go on doing anything on my phone. So because with a bank, it has names and all of that. Then we'll look at inheritance. So inheritance is given the fact that you have an account, okay, there's a class that defines an account, but that account can either be savings or current. All right. So if we are building another account or another class that talks about savings and current, those class should be an inheritance, meaning that they should inherit the name of a user that we've already created. So when somebody goes to the bank, I create an account with the bank, his details must be transferred to that new class that we are saying is either savings or current. All right. Then the next thing is encapsulation, private attributes with getters and setters. So encapsulation simply means that if you remember yesterday where I was explaining how in the constructor method you can create attributes as the name of a car, the model of a car, and all of that, and you can access them. Okay, outside the class you can access them if you do something like the name of the object, or let's say car one dot model, it will give you the value. But with encapsulation, we are hiding it. If you try to access it outside that class, it won't work. All right, and I will show you how the encapsulation works. And then the next thing we'll talk about is polymorphism. So polymorphism in this case refers to having the same functions. You can have the same methods in a class structure or in your project, but they are doing different things. All right. So we're going to see one when it comes to withdraw. Okay. There's a place where I declared a class for withdrawal, um, but if you are using, let's say you are using the correct account, there's a way you can withdraw. You can withdraw beyond. No, on the normal you cannot withdraw beyond your account balance. Okay, but there are cases where you have overdraft and you can withdraw above your balance. So it's the same function withdraw, but it does different things. All right. So the idea of using the same method or the same method name or the same concept method that has the same concept, but they are actually fulfilling different functions or functionalities rather. That's what we call polymorphism. I hope you're together, guys. All right. So I'll just go through because we already understand this thing. So I'm just going through. But take notes, look at what I'm doing so that your eyes is not fixed on what we're doing. So the first one is the base account. So we're going to look at how to create the account. All right. So we have a class called, I think I might, let me see if I make my screen. Okay, I think this we do. So we have a class called account, and then we are making our constructor. All right. So these are constructor called um, def underscore init. All right. And then we are passing self. Remember, I told you yesterday that self must be part of um, it must begin every function that we're working on. All right. So pass our self. Then when we pass in self, the next thing we want to do is that we are saying that when this account or when this class is being called by an object, we need to pass in an account number, we need to pass in the name of the person, and we set, remember yesterday we did this, the balance is zero, meaning if the person is not providing a balance that they are starting the account with, set it to zero. All right. It is when the person is maybe opening the account and he says, I want to open the account with $1,500 or thereabout, then we will now have to specify that this person is opening the account with this amount of money. Okay, so we'll pass in all of these variables, the account number. Now, this is where we do encapsulation. So, literally yesterday, what we did was that we just do self dot account number is equal to what we're getting from the user, which is account number. All right, but this time there's a double underscore before the account number after the self. So self dot underscore underscore. So that is where we initialize, or that's where we introduce the concept of encapsulation. All right, to ensure that that variable is not accessible outside the class. Okay, you can only get the values in that variable by using the method. All right, you use only a method to get the value of that variable. Now, the purpose of it is that so that you don't change it. Okay, for you to be able to change, yesterday, if we say class dot um, car dot model, all right, it prints it out. We can also say car dot model is equal to, we change it. So we don't want you to change it outside the class. So you have to use a function for you to be able to change it. You have to use a setters or a getters for you to be able to change it. These things are not very difficult, all right? So let's go ahead. So we do the same for the orders and the balance. We don't want you to change all of this until you use a function. So this is where we do our, the getters and all of that. So it's just the same method that we used before. But we create a method called get balance. So anytime we want to get the balance of the person, we have to call this function or this method get balance, and it returns it for us. So it's returning, it's not printing. So we have to say whatever we're getting into a value. And then we also do the get account number, get the owner's name. But then we did something different. This is where we do the setters. Okay, all of these are getters, but from here, this is where we do setters. So setters is that we want to change the values that we have in the in the variables. So what if the person wants to deposit? Okay, we take the amount that the person wants to deposit. If the amount is greater than zero, because somebody might want to deposit -10, -20, and that's wrong. So if for those of you who are working on your projects, your mini project, ensure that you take notice of this. You must ask the person if the amount will be greater than zero. So if it's greater than zero, just return. If it's greater than zero, then self.balance. Remember, you know what we are doing here is equal to update it by the amount that the person is depositing. All right, and then return true, meaning the person actually deposited. Meaning we can also say true means success, and false means invalid transaction or whatever. It depends on what we want to do. Then also we do self.withdraw or withdraw. So what withdraw talks about is that the same thing. If the person's amount, take the amount. If it's less than zero, because some people might want to withdraw -500, so we have to trap that. Nothing you do is less than is on the negative side in terms of the amount you are bringing. And then if our if the amount is less than zero, it's not less than zero rather, and also it is not also less than or is less than equal to self balance. All right. So this is just all our expression. Don't get confused. It's all our expression. We can break this into saying that if the amount is less than zero and the amount is, but because it's the same thing, so I just did it like that. So self dot balance, you minus the amount and you return true or false. Now I introduced something different from yesterday's class. Yesterday's class, I was trying to show you guys how to do description, to describe that the dog is barking, or describe what the car is, that this car is a red model or whatever. But there's a proper way you can just do it. You can just do what we call self dots underscore string. So underscore. What we're doing is that we just want to get a function or a method that when we call it, it tells us the general details of that particular class. So in this case, anytime we call this, it's going to return to us the person's account number. So that's why we have set our account number, just the basic stuff, and then the owner's name and the balance that the person have when we created the account for the person. Good. Now the next place is where we do inheritance. Okay. Now we will do inheritance, like I said, into savings and current. So what are we inheriting? The person already has, whoever is creating an account already has an account number, has an older name, and then has a balance. All right, those are three things that you already have. So we are going to inherit. So the first thing we're going to say is that when we do our def init, we're going to set all of this. The fact that we are inheriting a property does not mean we're not going to set it on our init, because that same class, this our class needs to say it. But then before I go to the next to this place, I want you to see how we declared an inheritance. So we called this is our new class name, and we open a parenthesis and we pass in account, which is the previous class that we created that we are inheriting from. This is this class. You can see when we created this, we did not put any open parentheses because we are not inheriting anything. This is a parent class. Okay, call it a parent class, and this will be a child class. Okay, so in case you hear in an interview what's the difference between a parent class and a child class, that's just the idea. All right, so we inherit this. So this is the line we use in inheriting the properties of the balance, the owner's name, and all of that. So we're going to inherit this with super, with our parentheses, the dots underscore in it. Now, when we are done with this, we also, because it's a savings account, you're going to be getting interest, right? So we need to take the interest rates that we're giving this person. That's because it's a savings account. So since we are not inheriting this, we need to pass it under the init so that the class can have the ability to use it. All right. And then we do what we call the apply method. Because it's a savings account, what we need to do is to apply interest. That's the only thing we do on the savings account, to apply interest. So we apply interest. So the value of our interest, that's interest, is equals to self.getBalance. Now, you see this self.getBalance, it is a method that we declared on our previous function. Remember, get balance. So we can call it because we have already inherited the properties of that class. And remember, inheritance allows us to share the attributes and the method of a parent class. So we get it, and then we multiply it by self.interest, and then when we're done with it, okay, whatever the person gets, all right, whatever the person gets from here, we need to then deposit it in the person's account. We need to deposit it in the person's account. That is where we have. That's why in this line there is now self.deposit. So we are calling this in that person's account. We want to deposit the interest. You saying now it's making sense now. So once we deposit it in the person's account, then we just want to return that this is the interest that was done, or that was gotten based on the person's account balance. And lastly, I also went with this my def. So this will also allow us to just get a brief discussion about how the savings account looks like for a user. So I still going to do the same thing for a savings, but for current account, this time we're using overdraft. Overdraft limits mean in the sense that the kind of money that somebody can withdraw based on the certain balance that they have in the account. Maybe if I have 10,000, I want to withdraw beyond 10,000. What is the overdraft or overdraft limit that I can withdraw? I can also have the ability to withdraw beyond the money in my account. But how does that logic play? So available balance is equal to first of all, we'll take the amount that the person wants to withdraw, and then the available balance of the person is the get. So you see, we're always using self-get balance. All right. This allows us to keep updated information. That's why class is very important. It will allow you to keep updated information. Okay. So self.get balance and then self.overdraft limits, plus them together. That will take the available amount the person can withdraw. And then we do our function. Okay, if it's between that available balance, the new balance is now, we would now set a new balance and minus whatever the person is withdrawing. And then this is something I want you guys to see that is very, very, very crucial. This is what we did. I did something like this: self.account underscore balance is equals to new balance. Now, what is happening here? I just updated account attributes, or the account balance attributes without the getter or setter. that's what I just did. So technical, right? But what I'm doing here is that in this case, this is me updating the account balance. The account um, objects, I just updated that with that's the balance, right? With what we get in our new balance. That's what I just did here. I would have commented this part. I would have added this comment since. Okay, so in a rush for this class. So then the next thing is just our def again to get the current updates. So you need to come and watch this video again to understand this concept. Then the next thing we'll do is the class manage account. So this class, that's the bank app. What it does literally is to help us do things like we want to add accounts to the bank. So we want to add accounts, we want to find an account, we want to list all the accounts that we have, we want to know the total deposit that was made in the account. So this is just more like the bank manage app for, let's say, the manager. The manager wants to add an account. Okay, how does he add an account? So it becomes self.account.append account. So what we did here is that we'll create a self.account list, and then we just add for every account that we'll append it here. So if we want to find an account number, okay, we'll also find for accounts in self.account, which we have here. If the account number is equals to the account number we're looking for, return the account number for us. Then list all the account numbers that we have, what is the total deposit, and then what is the bank name. Okay, so what's going to happen is that, first of all, for us to be able to even start our class, this is where we start our class, this bank. The first object, this is where, let's say this in Nigeria, this is GT Bank. This is the app GT Bank is going to use. It is from this class, GT Bank is going to be able to create an account for somebody and then be able to do these savings and current. But I want you to also see something where I applied polymorphism. Yeah, this is where I applied polymorphism. I want you to also say it that in this place we have def withdraw, and we also have it here on the class, say def withdraw. So this is where we use polymorphism. Okay, so that this what we have here is updating the balance, and that's why I did this line. Okay, so too many talks, but let's go into practice. So I think let me just run this. Let me see what's my system saying. Restart. Okay, I'll restart it when I'm done. Should just wait first. Let me run this one. So I'm going to use my virtual environment. My screen is too big for my liking. Alright, but it's fine. I just want you guys to see what I'm doing. Okay, so okay, I think we are done running this line. I didn't say it because so we run this, and then we run this, and then we run this bank app. So this is where we're gonna start testing. All right, testing our demo. So let's create a bank now. Let's call this PEEP Bank. PEEP Community. So this is PEEP Community Bank. All right. So we're going to use this class. You know, when we say we want to create a bank, what we need in the def is the constructor is just give us the bank name. Okay. So this is PEEP Bank auction. Now, but we want to create an account. Okay. I want to do this myself. I just want to I did this to test it, but I want to do this myself. So let me do something like create an account. Let's say someone wants to create an account. So let's create an account for, let's create an account for the first account we're going to get. Or let's say user 1 is equals to, so what kind of account do we want to create for the person? We want to create a savings account. So savings account, we take in the person's name. So let's say this is Gloria. Okay, and no, first of all, we take the account number. So the account number should be, let's just say what are we passing if it's a string or n? It's n, so let's just give it a number. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And the person's name is Alice, is Gloria. All right, so balance. Gloria will start with a balance of 1,500. Okay, so 1,500. That's Gloria's account. So let's say we also want to create another account, user 2. Or let's leave this first. So we'll create another account. So I want to, then the next thing is that I want to now add Gloria account to our bank. So let's say, let me do this one as first bank or bank one. Let's do it bank one. Okay. So we want to add Gloria's account to the bank. So add Gloria, add account to bank. So that would be my bank dot add account. What account are we going to add? We're going to add user one. So user one, which is Gloria's account, we want to add it to our bank. Great. We've added Gloria's stuff to our bank. So if we do something like, let's say my bank dot, or let's say savings or user one, for example, dot, let me show you something. Let's say you want to do get account number. Let's see if we can actually access the account number. So you see, we can get the account number that we created. Now, why can we get the account number? Because it's in this. When we created that savings account, we've already inherited the properties from this place. Okay, we've already inherited it from this place. So that's how we can get the user account number. Okay. Somebody wants to say, why not just try get my bank account number really work? Then that's where you see that there will be an error. The reason why there's an error is that the bank manage app does not actually inherit anything. It's a new app on its own. It's just in separate stuff on its own. Okay, that takes information. What it does is that it takes information. So when we say add accounts and we have this stuff that we are passing the account. So it's only actually taking. Let me do something like find accounts, and the account we're going to find is going to be this number. Let's find bank accounts. So we're going to get savings account. So this is savings account that is finding. Let me look at the function again. It's going to return the account number. If the get account is equal to account, return account number. Okay, great. So what is telling me that the account number is found? So let's keep going. Let's keep going with what we're doing. I think this was add accounts before. Good. I don't know if I can still add it more accounts again. All right, so I think I have my lay down stuff. So let me go on. So what if we want to say that this user one, which is Gloria, Gloria wants to deposit money to our account. So we can say user one equal to user one dot deposit. How much does she want to deposit? Let's say she wants to deposit 100. Okay. So that true simply means that it's successful. All right. So if we want to say let's get user one dot get balance, get account balance, and we run it, it's going to say it's 2,500. Okay. So this is good. That's to tell you that we are actually inheriting everything. But what if we do something like this? What if we do something like user one dot you do underscore balance, for example, and you run it, we're going to get an error. You cannot get this because this is where encapsulation comes into place. So it's a saving account has no attributes. All right. So this is where encapsulation comes in place. So I'm already talking about this. Okay. Then I want to also make more stuff. But what if I want to get it? This is where I'll get it. I'll do account. That's that function. That's stuff that we created. Okay, the class that we created. So accounts, and with this I can be able to get it. And where the problem is I can change it to 3,000. Let's see. Great, I've changed it to 3,000. You can see. So if I call this get account balance again, that's changed to 3,000. So that's why. So that's why so this kind of like a trick. The reason why we use encapsulation is more so that nobody changes it. All right, but to every rule there's also another way to it, because this what I'm doing is that I cannot access it directly, the attribute directly, but I can access it when I call the class that created it, and then I get my answer. Great. So let's withdraw. Let's withdraw. Let's say user one dot. I'm going to show you something now. Dot withdraw. And you want to withdraw 2,000. Okay. Great. True. By the time we call for the balance, it's 1,000. So what if the user wants to withdraw again? What if the user wants to withdraw another, let's say 1,500? What are we going to get? We're going to get a false. Okay. The reason we're getting a false is that, remember, in our class we stated that where's the class again? Stated that now listen, the withdraw, it's not this withdraw that is working. All right, the reason why this withdraw is not working is because we are not using a current account, we are using a savings account. And remember, in the savings account there is nothing like withdraw there. All right, the only method in the savings account is apply, and it was a savings account that we created. So it is this withdraw function in our account stuff that is working. All right. So for us to, let's create another account. Let's say there's another person called, um, let's say we have another user. So let's call this one user two. Okay. I will set it to, we want to first of all create an account for this user two. So call it correct account. What account do we want to create? Correct account. What's the person's name? The person's name is, what's the person's account number? 21. Reverse is the case. Great. It's not too much. Let me see. 3, 4. Great. So reverse is the case. So let's call this one wisdom. So this is wisdom account. And wisdom is starting with 1,200. So great. Wisdom has created a savings account. But which bank are we going to add wisdom to? Okay, wisdom has created an account. But once you create an account, it's like you fill the details. You fill the details already. Okay, I fill the details for a current account, but we need to add it to a bank. So we already have a bank before called. Let me do something. Let's go bank dot str slash. This is a method, so call it. So we have a PIP bank already, and that PIP bank have total account two, and the deposited money is $2,000. All right. So we are going to add. The reason I'm saying total account number is 2 is because I want to check something. I think I ran a set twice, but let's list the accounts that we have. Let me list it. Let me say my bank dot list accounts. So how many accounts do we have? We have Gloria. So I added Gloria account twice. Okay, that's why we have it 2 times. Okay, so let's add Wisdom's account to it. So that's going to be my bank. That's peakbank dot add account. We're going to add user 2 to it. Great, we've added user 2 to the account. And if I run this, you see we now have 2 accounts. So we have wisdom started with this. We have this. Another thing that we did not do is that in our bank, we did not add how to delete an account. Okay, that's another stuff I would have added, how to delete an account, and would then find out, okay, what do you need to pass to be able to delete an account? But I think what we need to delete an account is an account number. Okay, so I can easily, for me to, if I do it now, I need to rerun all of this. But for me to save us the edit, I'll just do something like this. Okay, add this, get balance. We don't need this part again. Withdraw, get balance is 500. Withdraw is going to be false. Now we've created this. Okay, so you see it's now an account. Then when I add user two and do that, so great, we are where we are. Okay, the only way I could have done that is to go back and add a delete account. And what I would do is that if I want to delete account, you give me the account number. So once you give me the account number, I'll find it and we use the remember when we did list where we did pop, okay? But I think what we'll do is we use the remove, all right? We use the remove function to be able to remove that account from the database. And don't forget this is a list though. All these things you are seeing is a list. Let me show you. So let's say my bank. So this would be my bank. Now let me see if it's a polymorphism or if I did encapsulation with it. Let's see. Okay, I did encapsulation with it. So I need to say my bank. Now let's go back to my code. So this is going to be my bank underscore dots underscore bank underscore accounts, right? And then I'll call it. So you see that it's actually it's more like it's a list. Okay, so all of these things you are saying is a list that is saving in. I noted that I'm going up and down. So so it's a list that we are saving in our service account. You know, we're calling it to say that we are saving to our service account. All right. I could have done something, but I don't want to bother myself too much about it. Okay. But this, what you see here is a memory, the memory space that we are saving it. So this is a saving account saved here. This is saved here. Okay. Then we can always do something like my bank dot or we'll do something like thinking of something. Let's say no, we can do user one dot get owner's name to be able to get the name of the person that owns this bank. We can also do that for user two, but that's not what I want to do. So what I want to do is that because this time is already going. So what I want to do is that I want to show you guys how we can do other stuff that we did before. So let's say now we've created a current account for user two. So that will be user two. Say the get order name. I'll get the account number. I'll give us the account number. User two. Now you can change the user two or this user one if you are confused. You can turn it to the name of the person that was the bank. You can say wisdom is equals to get account number, right? Rather than just say user two, you might confuse it. Okay, so you might just say I want to say wisdom is get account number the first. Since I know that I'm creating an account for this person and the person's name is Gloria, right? But there are cases where there are many Gloria. So how are you going to do it? Right? Because you can also create another account number or another account details here and create another bank and the person name is still Gloria. Okay, and put that person's name in that place. Those are things I want to show you also today. So let's say Wisdom wants to withdraw. Now Wisdom's withdrawal is not coming from, let's say he wants to withdraw 4,000. It's going to say false. Now this Wisdom's withdrawal is not coming from the account, is coming from the current account class. Okay, because if let's get wisdom, so users two dot get balance. I want to get the balance. So the balance is 1,200. So if I say I want to withdraw, for example, 1,700, it's going to work, or 1,500, it's going to work. It's going to say true. Why? Remember, we did an over an overdraft limit. All right, when we're creating a current account, we did that. So it's going to work. It's going to say, it's going to, no, it's going to give us a result. So this is where we apply the polymorphism in Python. We are applying polymorphism here. All right, so I've taught you inheritance, class objects, I've taught you polymorphism, I've taught you encapsulation. Guys, if there's anything about OP that you want to learn, it falls in that four concepts. Okay, so another thing, let's create a new bank. Let's say bank two. Let's just say my bank two will be equal to our bank, and then we pass in the name of the bank. So let's say this bank is Globus PSA. So this is Global PSA. So if we go to my bank two, or let's say my bank one dot underscore stro, we'll get the name of the bank, and we have two accounts, and the total money that the bank has is there. Well, if we come to my bank two and run it, we'll get the name of the bank, but there's no money, there's no deposit, because this is just a new bank we've created. We've not added accounts. So we can create different accounts, multiple accounts. We've not added it. But one thing you should understand is that the class that we are only using, if you understand this code very well, is that, let me go back. We are majorly using just these classes. This, when we are setting users account, that's what we need. We need either savings or current. And then we are not using this, the parents class. You understand? We are not using all of this. You're like, someone like, why are we not using it? The reason why we're not using it is that with the two stuff, with this savings or with this current, we can be able to use the method that we have in the account class. All right, we can be able to use it. Okay, and this also, these two class, the savings and the current, has two different methods that we will need. So we don't want to add it to the account classes. We want it to be a separate. We want, when there is a, how do I say it now? Great. This is how we explain it. This is me. This is human being. The account is a human being. Take it like that. Savings account. Who saves? Men saves. Right? Savings account is male. Current account is female. So when you're making a man, right, you are not bothered about the human being blueprint. You are bothered, this is a man. So you know, once you create something that is a man, you give it the gender, the man does this, has a thick voice, has this. So you have another one called woman. The woman has a tiny voice, she has this, she has that. So those two different class are from the entire class called human class, you understand? But you understand, they inherit those structures. That we know that these two class must have but they must have two eyes, one mouth, two hands, one head. So those are the common things that they have. We will state it on the human class. But the what now, where they now differs, okay, it is when we now say, okay, we need to inherit everything that needs to be inherited from that class and the method that they have, but they are separate. All right. So that's the idea. For example, let me see if I can describe polymorphism in how do I describe polymorphism in human language? So creating a dev function is an example of abstraction. I don't understand your question, Francis. What do you mean by abstraction? So polymorphism. What is general that can be override or overridden or something like that between human and I know normally. I don't want to say something that I should not say. But I know the gender I will go to that does polymorphism. And everybody knows that gender. I know gender that goes to. For example, let's say walk. Everybody walk. All right? Walking is you are walking in a direction, all right? You are walking. That's normal. It's a normal thing for human beings to walk. Polymorphism is where you make the women, there's a way they walk. And also guys, they also they walk. You not start blowing guy. No, lift one leg over another. You are walking, but that's polymorphism. You've changed the structure, the normal structure. It still work. We say, you guys say work how well now. All right. So it means that there's a normal idea of how humans should work, but you've changed your own to something else. That's polymorphism. Okay. But then encapsulation is when they are trying to search something about you, but they cannot get it because it's hidden. Nobody can get that information from you like that. For them to get it, they need to, let's say your blood sample, right? You can't just get your blood. They need to get through you to get your blood. You understand? It can't be called outside your body. For them to get your blood, they need to come to you. They need to chook something. They need to inside of you to be able to get that sample. So that's encapsulation. All right. I'm just using human beings to explain these things. So that you can easily understand this concept. All right, you can easily just understand this concept. So that's the idea about all of this class and everything, guys. And I want you to sit down, play this video over and over again. It's very simple. I made it very simple for you. Very, very simple. And if you get it, you are not missing anything again. You already know what you are doing. Okay. And another thing you can do is to structure once you are watching code or reading going through videos, like take a notepad and just right. Okay. So this is the bank app. This is an no draw and have a diagram that best explains what we are doing. Right. Oh, this is the bank app. In this bank app, we can either have a um okay, okay, okay. Hmm. Okay. So give me a minute. Um, give me a minute. Online sketch. Online. All right, I'm doing something on my. I'm doing something on my another browser. So I'll be back with you guys. Trying to find my. I think I've used it before in this class. So I'll share that screen now. So in the next 10 minutes, let me use it too. Francis, can you rephrase your question so that I understand better? So let me share my screen. I'm going to remove the screen and then I'm going to stop sharing. I know you cannot see my screen now. You see it very soon. I want to share something as Windows. Okay, I'm going to share this. Still can't see my screen. Just wait a little bit. You see it now. Good. Good, 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 good. So let's create a new file. Let's create a new file. What do I want to do now? Should I use a color plane? Should I use a grid? Let me use a color plane. What's the width? I think I want it to be very. I think I want the width to be 1,000. Let's make it 1,000. Let's see how it will look like. Okay. Okay. I think I can work with this. Oh, do I have the right to change it? Mm, I don't think I have the right to change it again. So let me just go back to. Let me just do back. Oh, let me come back to it again. Sorry, guys. Okay, great. So I think I have it back. So I was trying to see if I could change it. So let me explain. Let's explain this concept very, very well. Okay. So we have a bank. Okay, we have a bank. This is a bank. When I say draw, that's what I mean by drawing. This is a bank. All right. So I've scattered the roof of that bank, for example. So this is our bank. B. I think they are going to school. Okay, so this is a bank. All right. So when you come to a bank, you have two things. See that you have a savings account or you have a current account. Okay, is that you have a savings account. So we just call it savings. Savings or current. Don't mind my arrow. Now, these two forms comes from where we call an account. All right, this is an account. Now, this is our parent stuff. So this is the parent class that it fits this. It fits here. All right, it fits to this place. It fits to this place. And then this place, this one also inherits from it. This is where we have inheritance. So this line is inheritance. All right. Now, in this place, this part that we are doing is where we, in this case, this is where we, the bank, any bank you have, you must have these properties. All right. You must have these properties inside. So that's why when we create an account or we create a bank, remember, so we have a bank function, a bank class. We have it on its own. So when you create a bank, don't mind the B, I just want to be fast. I have 5 minutes left. So when you create a bank, you can add. So when you create an account, any of this that forms under this account class, you can add it to the bank, all right? So once you create it to the bank, from the bank, you can be able to, you can find all the number of banks, the number of accounts that they have, the total deposit, everything, just like CBN has that ability to know how much a bank has. Cool, that is fine. So what I'm saying in the essence is that with this, I understand that, okay, this is a parent class that these two inherit from. We can implement this class inside the bank, this savings or current inside the bank. And let's not forget that this account has its function, like get account, get the name of the person, because that's what an account needs to have. All right, then this bank now has things like what is the total number of money, how do we want to find a record, how do we add to the record, and also how do we delete an account. I didn't put that on the code. So great. So that's the concept I want us to understand by what we are doing in this place. So we know that even depositing, we can deposit inside. Every account has the ability to run the deposits. Okay, so you don't need to deposit because there's a branch. You don't need to deposit. It is the account that you are depositing money on. So that's why we create an account. The account has the ability to deposit. So I hope this is well understood and everyone understands what we are saying. Okay, everyone understands what we are saying. Yeah. So that being said, guys, I think. Do you have any question apart from Francis' question? What I'm trying to. Question is also a pillar of play, right? I'm asking if creating a function or any input function is an example of it. It's a function that has a written set of commands. Don't confuse yourself too much. Francis. But anyways, if I get what you're saying, you're asking if abstraction is also a plan of OP, right? If I'm asking if creating a function or any input in function is an example of it. Okay, since okay, great. So I'll be able to answer you very well. Let me share my screen. Okay. So I'm coming. Let me share my code screen. So that everybody understands. Let me add it to the screen. And Okay. So aside Francis' question, does anybody have any other question? All right, I want to know. So, so, okay, if no other questions, let me just answer this and call it a day. So, Francis, when we talk about abstraction in Python, now that core principle applies to, I know it applies to OP, but I don't want you to get mixed up by saying, first of all, don't get mixed up by not understanding what the difference between a function and a method is, okay, when it comes to OOP, all right? I know everything is a function, all right, but terminology is where things differ, so that you don't get to confuse yourself, all right? But the concept of abstraction is that you want to simplify a complex system, okay? By maybe you want to expose only essential values of information to the user, and then you want to hide unnecessary implementation details. All right, so this with this you can be able to maybe you'll be able to achieve through abstract class and method. There's what we call abstract class and method. All right, I think um ah well, that's another stuff you want to take into. But there's what we call abstract class and methods. Okay, abstract class means that you cannot the classes cannot be instantiate. You cannot instance them directly, all right, or serve as blueprint for other classes. You cannot do that, meaning that they have a common attribute and their behavior, all right. So, but abstract method declares that within the abstract classes, it lacks implementation and must be, sometimes can be overridden by certain subclasses. So this terminology, what we are saying is that when you are doing abstraction, all right, there are times where you build abstract classes, and abstract classes is that you cannot create an instance of them. All right, it's still the concept of OOP is a class, but you cannot create an instance of it. It's just doing its unique function. But also there are abstract methods. All right, an abstract method simply means that you can also use them to override some other subclasses that you have. All right, so but that is an entire concept again in OOP. Okay, we can call it maybe an additional layer to the four stuff that we are looked at. All right, and these things are very important for us to create things like abstract methods. It's just for you to pass in. Python has there's this library. Oh God, I can't forget it. I think it's ABC. From ABC, yes. Okay, from ABC, you can be able to. Let me see if I can show you something. Let me see. It's already night. Let me see if I can show you something. So there's something we can do like do I want to do it here? No, let me not do it here. Let me go down. I think I don't need this part. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me. So I can say something from ABC, import ABC, and import uh, abstract method. Okay, we can do things like this, and then we can create a class. Let's say we create a class. Okay, a class. You can display a class. Let's say dog, for example, or yeah, let's just leave it as dog. And then in that dog, I can now say that what I want to achieve is that I want to create. Hmm, so this is what let me just do the way you call it. So I will just you can do at this way to do at abstract method, and you can say maybe the def of it, the def. Let's call it color, for example, and then we have a self. But in this case, we don't need a self anyway. Just call it and say maybe print something of. Let me just do something like red or something. Now, what I'm trying to say is that in this case, this is an abstract method. This is how we declare those concepts. Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to bother you guys with this one now. Okay. Well, it's fine. It's something that you can research and then talk about it more. But I like the fact that you brought that question. That's a good one. Okay. So, do we have any other question, or do I have I answered your question, Francis? If you understand clearly, I don't want to bother you too much about it. But if you want us to explain it deeper, we can do that. I can maybe look at it and then I'll give you guys in the next class. But yeah, are we good, guys? Oh, okay, thanks for that, sir. Apologies for taking us. I know it's not actually too far. It's actually opening you guys to. There's something that I'm teaching. For example, now I have some thoughts that I want to teach. Like for example, I want to if I want to teach decorators, right? I might want to talk about decorators, but no, I've not gotten there, or it might not be in our scope. So if you ask me questions now on decorators, I'll be like, or maybe I want to. So it's just that kind of questions, all right. But at least there's an attempt to it, and then I'll just answer, all right. I don't want to chase some people away because so that I want to take it step by step. Imagine when we're doing if statement, I start talking about OOP, polymorphism and inheritance and everything. Some of you by now you'll not be in this class again. You'll be running. But good, this is day 22, so it means that we have a lot to also cover, right? And that's why I want to also tell you guys to do your projects or your mini project that we are giving you because they are also helping you. Get ready, guys. So the link for the assignment is going to be submitted. It's going to be posted right now on the group. I want to see the assignment for the bank app. Since I've already taken up your time, let me just take your time a little bit and show you something. Maybe I will not do it tomorrow. Mm, let me do clear my terminal. Let me do code.bank. So I will just run. I didn't do it as a module, but I will just. Where's my screen? Let me share that screen part. Where's my screen? Where's my StreamYard? Okay, remove this from the screen. Stop sharing screen. Present. Guys, just give me a minute. I know I'm using more than speculated hour. Backup. Great. So now I don't know why. Let me do refresh first. Let's just wait. Just a minute. Let me refresh um my Visual Studio Code. I don't know why my database extension is not showing, and I need it to show so that I can show you guys something. Okay. That didn't come up the way. Well, guys, so it's taking its time to come up. But anyways, the idea here is that okay, I think it's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. Good. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. Which one is the backup? Okay, this is the backup. So let me share my screen again. That would be this. This is the backup. Good. So it's loading, taking its time. I don't know my the. Is it because I installed it on the remote server? Is that the reason why? Let me say something, guys. Let me do a new window, for example. I'm trying to check if. Oh, I'm already taking time. Trying to check why I only have the data connection coming on database. Because I think in this case I need to share my entire screen so that I don't move move anyhow. So let me share my entire screen. So that you guys see where I am. Because this is where I'm going to be. Oh, wait, so let me see if I've even added my entire screen to the stage. Okay, great. I think I just did now. So this is where I don't know why it's taking time, but Good. So database client install. Let me install it here and see if we would get what I want. Okay, so this is loading. This is our tutorial stuff and it's also loading. Everything is just loading on this system. This is installing. Oh, do I have that time? Oh my god. Okay, just give me a minute. So let everything keep loading. I don't know why everything is loading. Ah, this is far. This is also far. Wow. Wow. You should be able to do this. I don't know, guys. I don't think we'll have that time. Why is it that when I want to show you guys this bank app, or there's somebody here who has done the assignment and is just saying don't show us or something. I don't know. Okay, let me see if I can close. Okay, let's make this obvious. Let's assume. Let me see if it will slow some stuff. So let me close this. Wait. So let's see. Uh, still taking time to install. So I think we just have to. Okay, this has installed. Great. Um, installed. Okay. Why am I not seeing it on my? I'm not seeing it on. So the component is client base, right? Marketplace issues, database client base setting, apply to our profile. Okay, apply to our profile. Then I'm not seeing the shortcuts here. I should be seeing the shortcuts on my window view layers, something like that. I should be seeing what I want, but I'm not seeing it. Mm, extensions. Okay, so I needed this to show you guys something, but open my let me open my let me just show you guys the code and let you go. So let me connect to my WSA. Great. So I don't know why we can't use this because I want to show you guys the database. Nah, not this. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I need to install my SQL database to this thing. What if this is what I'm missing? Okay. Okay. Now let's go ahead. Let me show you. Oh, this is still setting up. Guys, I think I have to tell you bye bye. Oh. All right, guys. I don't know. Maybe I think it's Gloria that did. Maybe Gloria has done an assignment, so Gloria does not want us to see this. All right, and I can't switch system at this moment. So maybe tomorrow's class. What I will do is that I will just set it up, and I'll show you guys tomorrow's class, and then we start from there. Okay. But that being said, I think we had a wonderful class today. And oh, great, great. Now what I'm looking for is here. Great, great. You see, what I'm not looking for has arrived. Hmm. Okay, what am I looking for has arrived. So let me end this one. Let's create another WSA. Connect to Windows. Hopefully, let this one load very fast. Even what I'm looking for is not in DSF. How do I move this? Okay, this is my bank. This is the bank app. Let me just click it. Let's see where it will load from. Oh, wait, go back. This is my WS. Let me just to open it. Yeah, open with Visual Studio Code. I think this should have been faster. Just allow views to allow this. Great. I'm not getting the. I'm not show you guys. Yes, trust this. Let me show you this. Yes, trust. Not shaking. Okay, great. So I think I have what I want. So this is it. This is the bank app. I'm just going to be very fast with it because of time. So this is where we create our database. I've not segmented it into this thing, into modules, but this is how we create database. I'm creating my database, and I'm using SQLite. You can see I'm import. That's why I told you guys can use SQLite 3, import it, and then creating the database if the database is not existing. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys how. Let me create a connection to show you how my database looks like. Let me go down a little bit. So I'm going to connect to an SQLite. I'm going to go to this place, pick the path to it, copy path, paste it. I think I need to install, I need to install SQL. Starting downloading SQL, I need to install SQL to be able to, this now I'm not in my browser, my Ubuntu, so that's another thing again. But let's just leave it and let me just go ahead while that is installing. I'll show you guys that, okay, so this is how we created it, and you can see the create account, passing to the database, okay. So I'm putting the account, insert the stuff into the database, and then also there's a commit, there's a close to that connection, login, we are fetching from the database. So connect to the database, and from the database, we want to fetch the user's information, and then we're retrieving the user's details, okay? So we have the check balance and all of that. So all of these things are, let me just be scrolling fast so that you see it. So I've already done, okay, that looks successful, great. So that means I can, let me try my SQL, I don't know. So I can connect to the database. SQLite, connect to the database, click connect. So it's loading. I think I might take one of these off because they're the same thing. Great. So this is the database that I've created. I don't know if I've created any table. I've not created any table or anything. Anyways, I've not created any table or anything. So that's why it's not showing. If not, it would have been showing here on the database. Okay. So I just want to show that so that some of you can come back here and watch the video, and you know, if I want to be pausing the video and be saying my screen, I know what I did. Okay, so all right, guys, I think that is it, and sorry for taking your time, an extra 16 minutes of the time, but I hope that was worth it, and you're able to see that I too personally I do assignments also to refresh myself. Like Gloria said, I'm not comparing myself, but sometimes it's needed. All right. So we'll see you on the Slack channel, and then we'll discuss more. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye bye.